Hey, what's going on YouTube? How's everybody doing out there? Listen, I know a lot of you guys just watch my videos to watch music videos, concert footage, dirty deeds, stuff like that, and that's really cool. I really appreciate all the views and all your comments. In fact, I just posted a short earlier today and got a lot of comments already. 17-year-old kid playing with Los Angeles. Incredible player. The band, you could judge. But anyway, that's not what this is about. This is about what's going on in my personal life. So if you don't care, you can go ahead and end it right now. And it's also an explanation for why there probably won't be too many videos in the upcoming weeks. As many of you do know me, especially people who know me in person, know that I had an accident September 13th or so of 2020. And I got cut from here to here doing some HVAC work on my house. I was holding this air handler over my head and it fell down and it sliced me open. And it cut my arteries. Both of them were pumping blood like crazy. It severed this nerve that goes to these fingers right here. The nerve that goes like that. I forget what it's called. But that nerve was severed completely in half. And all of the tendons and ligaments that control these fingers and my hand. Since then, they reattached. Obviously, they stopped the bleeding. I got airlifted to a trauma center. They stopped the bleeding. And then a few days later, I went in and had the surgery to put together all my tendons and ligaments and nerves and everything that were cut. So, in fact, shout out to my doctor, Dr. Carr at Westchester Medical Center. Amazing doctor. But he put it back together. It never grew back, as in the feeling never came back. The strength never came back. So then 6 months or so later, we did a nerve graft from here to here. Well, he did. I just laid there. But from here to here, roughly, they did a nerve graft, and that also did not take. So I guess this time he's going to go higher up in my hand and trying to catch some of that nerve that maybe wasn't damaged from the impact. I'm not sure exactly how he's planning on redoing it, but they're going to do a new nerve graft. And they're going to put some padding on here because I've got so much scar tissue, and this is like ultra sensitive. Just like a little tap like that is like shoots pains. I have all kinds of ghost pains too, and out of the blue I'll just get like these shocking feelings. So a lot of pain. Nothing compared to what a lot of people go through, but you know, it's annoying. And I have no strength. I don't know if you could see it in the cameras from here, but the meat of the thumb there, it does a lot when you're grabbing. And mine is completely faded away. It's just ridiculous. And it's difficult for me. I could hold that okay, but my phone is difficult for me to hold the weight of just my phone between these fingers. These fingers are fine. They weren't affected by any of it. These, including my thumb, have. And I have no feeling whatsoever. I could pick up a horseshoe the blacksmith just finished with and hold it, and you know, I could pick up a hot coal and it won't affect me at all. I would not know I was holding it. So we're hoping that that comes back. But the bigger thing is the strength, because I can't control a stick. Like, I can't grip it like that. I don't know where it is in my hand, and it moves constantly. So I've had to do all kinds of things to keep the sticks in my hand and to try and keep it in one place, which it doesn't do. So trying to do controlled hits, although I've gotten better at it, it gets very difficult, and this stick just starts going crazy. I have no control over it, especially when I start going around the kit. I have limited control, I should say. I shouldn't say no control. And this guy Jack Thomas plays, his arm was severed from here down. There's nothing. God, is he amazing. But so I'm not complaining because I still have a hand. It's not about complaining. I'm just trying to explain this as shortly as I can because I go all over the place. But tomorrow I go in for surgery, and they're actually going to take the tendon that controls this finger, the ring finger, and they're going to split it and they're going to put a little pulley right here in my bone, and they're going to route part of it to my thumb. So when I want to control my thumb, I will have to think about moving my ring finger. But when you pick things up, they usually go together anyway. And then the doctor said in time, my brain will adapt, and I'll be able to control it independently, which is amazing. The human body is amazing, and what they could do is amazing. Still can't figure out the cold, but other things they could do is amazing. So I'm not going to be able to even touch, he said, for the first 8 weeks to 3 months, he's not even going to want me to grasp anything with my thumb or my hands. So I will be one-handed drumming starting after surgery tomorrow. Don't know when I'll even be feeling okay to try and play any drums or do anything. I guess it's time to work on the feet. And that's where I'm at. So thank you for watching, subscribing, liking, sharing my videos all over the place. I haven't looked recently today, but I'm right at around 5,000. I think I'm just about to hit 5,000 subscribers. That's amazing to me. And again, I know a lot of you just come in and watch the music videos, and a lot of you don't know me. If you're still watching, you probably know who I am. And the other thing I wanted to talk about was this kit, which you're not going to hear at all, except for the sounds of the mesh pads and the rubber cymbals. But this is a Roland TD27KV, not the KV2, so it does not have the digital hi-hats. It has the digital snare and the digital ride. I have an extra, this is just a 13-inch snare drum I have on a stand with the mesh head that I put a Pentac trigger on so I could have a floor tom over here. This is a custom rack I did up. I don't like the setup, but it's going to be this way for a while. I thought I'd try something here. I really don't like it, to be honest, but this is kind of what I have in mind. Of course, I wanted my cymbal, my hi-hats over to the right of my snare where I like them best. They're controlled. It's a Pearl RH2050 remote hi-hat. And this isn't even hooked up right now. Neither is, this is at least a Sample Pad Pro that's sitting over here. Sometimes I have a Roland TD3 hooked up over here, and they go into the TD27KV or TD27 module, or they can all go into Easy Drummer 3 or Superior Drummer or whatever, but I happen to use Easy Drummer 3 so far. This is all brand new to me, and I'm not used to playing them, but it's pretty cool. The reason I got them, one of the biggest reasons, is because I'm going to be playing with one hand for unforeseen amount of time, but at least 2 months. And because the neighbors all chipped in and bought it for me because I was so loud and annoying everybody. Just kidding about the chipping in part, but I'm sure it's happy. They're happier because I was pretty loud. Now I can just play on headphones and nobody hears me, and it's awesome. Still getting used to the electronic kit, and especially the hi-hats. Probably going to want to get the VH14 digital hi-hats down the road, but right now these are working fine for me. If it was just the TD27, it would be these pads, the snare. I could add this one because there's a few auxiliary inputs, and 2 crashes, a ride, and then this pad is actually sitting here as my mouse pad. It's just a little Roland drum pad. And these 2 cymbals are Alesis right now, but I've got some Rolands on the way. I don't need that many cymbals, especially with an electronic kit, because you could use the rims for cowbells. I could have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 cowbells without even trying. 6 cowbells! But it does all kinds of things. Obviously, if you know anything about electronic drums, you can program any part to do anything, pretty much. And so the reason was, I have a kick drum pedal down here on a Roland pad, and the idea was to hook that up as a snare, so had the same sound as this snare, so I could try and do snare rolls a little bit. It's going to take a lot to practice that, but it'll be nice instead of going it'll definitely be nice to replace this, especially when you got like Metallica. They love to do their crashes with snares instead of, usually it's a kick pedal with a crash. But Lars love to do that. But there's lots of songs where you're hitting the crash with the snare, not the kick. The kick is easy with one hand, but not so much with the snare and the crash at the same time. So there's a lot of times you really need that extra. So that's the idea behind getting the electronic kit, is that I could play my snare with my foot. And of course, then, well, what am I doing to control my hi-hats? You know, something's got to give. But that's kind of the idea. And the other idea is that I'll be able to I know you can't hear any of that. It's kind of stupid to be doing this without some sound coming out. But the reason I set them up like this is so that I could easily reach with one hand, and so that I could try and play around with being able to hit two pads at once. For obvious reasons, I don't know if I'm going to have the coordination to do it, but it's going to be a hell of a lot of fun to try. It's going to be a hell of a lot of fun to learn if I can do it. I know for basic, fairly slow, I'll be able to do it, but you know, it's going to get a little bit funky. So anyway, I'm going on and on, I think, for no reason at this point. I think you guys get the idea of what I'm doing here with the electronic kit. My shed is just absolutely a mess. I have so much to do before the surgery tomorrow that I have not got done. And the main thing I did not get done, that was my goal, was to put together my acoustic set. I took it all apart. The rack is in the other shed, and the rest of it's sitting over there, and it's just staring at me. And I wanted it together before the surgery. I might actually have some time in the morning before we leave, so maybe I'll do it then. I know I won't be able to get the whole rack together, but once the surgery's there and I can't use this hand, putting together a rack and putting things on the rack, like trying to hold up a tom, and it's going to be very difficult. That's why I wanted it done before the surgery, obviously. I will be one-handed for a few months, so I'm not going to lie. I'm a little nervous about it. Not the surgery itself. Hopefully it's a success, but just being without a hand for a few months. And I went through it before, but as weak as it was, I could still use it. It might not have been very usable, but I could still use it to some extent. This time around, since he's reassigning this tendon, ligament or tendon, since there's going to be a tendon reassignment, I won't be able to, he's not going to want me to grasp at all. In fact, he's probably going to immobilize my thumb. Where I was at least able to do a little bit, where I could, you know, kind of hold it like this with my two fingers and grip like that. I don't know if I'm even going to be able to do that. So it really makes it, you know, just things in life are just, you know, trying to hold the toothpaste and the toothbrush at the same time and squeeze it on there. It's just, you got to put the toothbrush on the counter and squeeze it out. And every little thing you do in life, you don't realize how much you're dependent on two hands until you lose one of them. So that's it. Thank you to everybody again for subscribing and liking and sharing all my stuff, and thank you for listening to my long-winded self. Probably the only one that's going to hear these last words are me when I edit this video and trim it. About all the editing I ever do. I'm lazy that way, but love you guys, and thanks again. And let me know in the comments what you guys think of the idea of playing one-handed on the electronic kit, and if I'll be able to pull it off. Hopefully I'll be able to put up a few covers, I don't know, in a few weeks maybe. I'm going to try and edit some footage of some bands I saw in the past that I haven't posted to YouTube yet, and get that online. So thanks again.